Okay, so the Discipline at the Door program I think is extremely beneficial. I think it's supporting goals that all instructors have at an individual level, that schools have, that districts have, to keep kids in the classroom. As much as we can keep kids in the classroom learning, engaged in lessons, I think that's going to support the goals that we all have. Unfortunately, there are students that are going to have behaviors in class that are going to be disruptive and disrespectful to the point where learning is being interrupted for everybody. And I think that traditionally, these students were sent out of the classroom down to a disciplined environment in order to resolve that situation. And I think there's two big problems with that. I think first that, like I said before, it's removing the student from the classroom. Learning has stopped for that student at that point. And the second big thing I think is that it creates potentially an ongoing tough relationship between the student and the teacher. So if a student is sent out of the classroom, is suspended, there's no chance for the teacher and that student to interact and to resolve that conflict. And so the student goes home often upset and comes back several days later, potentially with damage being done to the rapport that the teacher and the student have together. And the Discipline at the Door program, it allows an administrator to come down and mediate a situation right as it's happening. And the student is able to hear from the teacher directly what their concerns were. So I've had instances where there's a student that's upset, they're doing something that I think is extremely inappropriate in class, but they might not understand that it's a safety concern, or that they are jeopardizing others, or jeopardizing a lab, or damaging the learning of others. And so they get a chance to realize that, and they're able to calm down and get to a point where they're understanding what the impacts of their behavior are, and they're able to make a change, and we're able to resolve it right there and get class going again. It's also a great opportunity, I think, for the teacher, and it sounds kind of weird, but for the teacher to look like the good guy in the situation. If you take a student and toss them out of class, then you're looking like, potentially you are victimizing them, or you are persecuting them in some kind of way. But if you're able to come down and mediate with an administrator, you're able as a teacher to stand up and say, I still want you in class, and I want you here, and here's why I like having you in class, and it allows you to kind of resolve that conflict right at the door, and get back to learning.